Okay, so we have made it to our next map on Chapter 2, and this one has a lot of Levi episodes. It's got 4 for Jed and 1 for Ayer, and I think it's the only one that involves Ayer for Levi. So we're going to be on this map for a little bit. First, I thought I'd go to the antique shop. Just real quick, because it's time to buy a thing. Which is... not that one. The deep purple mask. So we can see Levi without his mask later on. You're welcome, old man. Okay. I will come again, don't you worry. Okay, and then Levi has an interview question. So let's do that too. What's your favorite times and hobbies?
When you ask me that again, I really have no idea. But I like reading books. People say that they didn't expect it. If I had to say another thing that's unexpected, I dislike exercise. People always assume the opposite.
I forgot you and Karasuba had that in common, Levi. Alright, so in the West Alley, since we're already here, we've got 2 for Levi, so let's do the Black Shadow first. Good music.
Here he comes. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Ah!
I got you!
You're not getting away! No more excuses out of you!
Why are you here? No, this is just a coincidence!
I heard the man's pitiful cries in the cold winter air. Yikes, I sure don't want to be in his shoes now. It was a job through a referral from a regular client. Her request was to find proof of infidelity from her lover. Now that I had helped her with that, it was a fact that her lover was cheating on her.
It's not what it seems. I can explain.
No excuses! I'll hear you out at home, so come along now! Thank you so much, Mr. Handyman. Now I can give him a piece of my mind.
Yes. I'm happy for her. Wait, that's not right. Good luck, I guess.
Yes, I'll give you your pay tomorrow as promised, so please come and get it then. Come on, let's go!
A grown man was being dragged away. He was completely at fault, but I did feel sorry for him, thinking of the upcoming interrogation. Phew. I thought I'd be used to doing private detective work to investigate infidelity. If I have to do all this, I'd like to see relationships straight out of love stories. I straightened my outfit as I thought such. Like a princess and a prince meeting by accident and falling in love at first sight. I knew it sounded cliché, but I couldn't say it wasn't appealing. I shouldn't. I shook my head to rid my head of those embarrassing thoughts. For now. You shouldn't make the other person mad or sad, and it was never good to lie to them. Although I had no experience with love, that was the type of thing I thought about. To never lie. It was different from lying about cheating, but I did lie, even to the people closest to me. Shock. I noticed there was a haze in the air. I looked up to see the sun about to set. It's the only time the sun is ever mentioned in this game. I'd better go back soon. It was quite a distance from the center of town to the tower. There were no lights in the forest, and I could get lost even on my usual path. I decided to jog back home as quickly as I could. The fog is really thick today. It wasn't unusual for the city to be covered like this during the night, but it felt like it came earlier than usual. With how it was now, I needed to be wary, making sure I took care each step of the way. You know what they say about alleys filled with fog, girl. Maybe I should borrow a light from somewhere to go home with. I started to walk cautiously when... I noticed someone's presence thanks to a shift in the thickness of the fog. I could barely hear the footsteps, but the way the air moved was completely different. Am I being chased after? I sensed someone's gaze. I started to pick up my pace, but the presence stuck close to me. That someone was following me without a doubt. What to do now? The town was nearly deserted, and I had already arrived at the outskirts. Even if I tried to find an open store or a well-lit place, I doubted I could find one now. I should have taken a different path, but it was too late for that. The footsteps were getting closer. As I grew more nervous, a name crossed my mind. The Black Shadow? The rumored serial killer. That's what I'm talking about with Foggy Alley's girl. If he were a robber, I could deal with that. But if his goal was murder, would I be able to deal with someone who's killed so many without so much as a single trace? The footsteps grow even louder. Damn it! I drew my sword and spun around to attack preemptively, and then the footsteps suddenly stopped.
Jed?
Huh? Do you think... Now that we know what we know, do you think he was actually looking for somebody to kill and he just happened to realize, oh wait, it's Jed. Never mind. Ooh. Eesh. Eesh. I blinked in surprise. The fog suddenly became lighter and I saw Levi's face. Levi?
Come on now. Why did you draw your sword?
What do you mean by that? I sensed someone coming from behind, so I thought it was the Black Shadow.
Black Shadow? What's that?
You don't know? There's a string of murders going on in the town right now. The culprit isn't caught yet.
Oh? That sounds dangerous.
I thought you could be a robber too, but if you were the killer... Anyway, I'm so glad it was you, Levi.
Sorry about that. I couldn't see far ahead because of the fog either.
It's especially bad today.
So, what's with you? On your way back from work? You really should have gone home earlier.
Yeah, I thought so too. I'll be more careful next time.
What would you do without me? Want me to walk you back? I know the guys who live in that house over there, so I can borrow a light. It's my job to look after my baby brother, you know.
I felt genuinely thankful. I was starting to get uneasy being in this thick fog all alone. Except, Levi didn't know I lived at the tower. And if he found out I lived with that suspicious man, he would tell me to go back to the manor with him. I saw a fire from behind my eye. No, I'm alright. Francisca will be worried about you, so you should go home soon.
I'm a bit too old for her to be worried about me.
I heard parents always care about their children, no matter how old they get.
I guess I'll heed that warning then. You should learn to depend on others. You always try to deal with everything alone.
Really? I just try to do what I can. I knew full well that I couldn't do what Levi suggested. If I didn't have this secret, I wouldn't have such a guilty conscience. If I really was a boy, I would be able to continue my relationship with Levon and Levi.
That's exactly what I mean. You always try to deal with everything alone. You can depend on me a little more. You know, if you asked, I'd do anything for you.
Even if I ask you to do my jobs for me on your days off?
Blah! Give me a break.
Levi laughed with me. I can't tell him my secret. I do rely on you. Thanks, Levi.
Yeah!
We were back to our usual selves. I noticed the fog around us getting lighter. Seems like it's better now. That's great.
Yeah, you probably won't get lost now.
Not with so little fog. I took a step into the foggy area, but Levi held out his arm in front of me. I thought he had something else to say, but I was wrong. He was looking intently into the fog. I stared into the white fog and saw a silhouette. Lugus? He didn't notice us. Why was he standing in the fog all alone?
What the hell is he doing?
We tensed, and Levi put his hand on his sword. Levi! I tried to keep my voice low, but apparently Lugus heard me. He turned to us in a quick motion, and with a wrinkle between his brow walked toward us.
What the hell are you doing here?
What about you? Why are you out here at this hour?
So what if I am? You trying to say I'm the Black Shadow?
Levi? They were both openly hostile. I didn't expect him to say the name of the serial killer.
Yeah.
So you know that rumor then? I suppose dogs are good at picking up scents.
And why are you out here at this hour? You're the son of the Hawk Lord, aren't you? Maybe you shouldn't be wandering around here alone.
These two really didn't get along. Did he know Lucas was going to be here and was going to kill him that night? Oh man, I have so many ponderings now. Ugh. Though Lucas didn't get along with the Wolf Clan in general, Levi tried to pick apart every single thing he said too. He's not looking to fight, but they just aren't compatible. Unexpectedly, Lucas closed his mouth and walked off in another direction.
Hey!
He apparently had no intention to talk and quietly disappeared into the fog.
What was that?
Beats me. Maybe he was just worried about us.
He didn't sound worried at all.
Well, maybe that's just how Lucas greets people.
You really are an optimist, aren't you? Either way, you'd better go home while the fog's lighter.
That's right. I'll hurry back.
Yeah. Don't get caught by any more weirdos.
Weirdos?
Pretty weird to be standing out here alone and then leaving without saying a word, if you ask me.
That's true. I wonder what he was really doing here.
Well then, take care.
Yeah, you too, Levi. I felt the cold air cling to my cheeks as I moved quietly along. The fog drifting upon the snow dampened my clothes, drawing heat away from my body. It seemed as if the fog thickened again. Soon it engulfed me once more. If somebody were to approach me right now, I wouldn't know who it was. I continued to walk through the fog and darkness with only my gut instincts guiding me. And somehow made it home safely. Phew. Alright. And then tables have turned, which we did during Levon's route, but we're gonna do it again. Because it's definitely a Levi-centric one. I walked around town without any new developments on the missing item or new requests for work. Days like this did happen once in a while. That was when I saw a familiar back. It's Levon! I went closer to call out to him, but my arm was pulled in a different direction, setting me off balance. I was then pulled around the corner. A thief? I quickly reached for the sword at my hip. Right before I drew it from its sheath, I heard a frantic voice by my ear. We really need to stop meeting like this.
It's me, Jed!
I turned around to look and saw Levi.
That was close. You would have cut me if I was a little slower.
Levi? You surprise me! What's with you all of a sudden? I was about to raise my voice, but he covered my mouth.
Shh! Be quiet! Levon will see us!
He said that with a serious expression while pushing me against a wall. If someone saw us, it would look suspicious that we were pressed against each other. Levi's attention was completely focused on hiding from Levon, so he didn't realize. Why is he trying so desperately to hide? I stayed silent as he asked for the time being, and he let go of my mouth.
He doesn't seem to be coming this way.
Seems that way. What happened, Levi?
Well, it's nothing big. But if he catches me now, I'll definitely be in for a lecture.
Doesn't that mean you did something bad? Just let him get mad at you. Levon treated Levi with a brotherly sort of strictness. Whenever Levi was at fault, he would receive a ruthless lecturing. But never had what Levon said been unreasonable, at least from what I heard.
That's not true. Wouldn't you hate it if your days off suddenly got taken away?
I would. But there's a reason for that, isn't there?
Even if there is, there's something I need to do today.
Meaning you were tasked with a job today, on your day off, and you ran away because you didn't want to do it?
Hey, you really get me.
Don't give me that. Levon didn't give you that task just to be mean to you or anything.
I know that, but why can't he at least ask me if I had plans? He does that for the other members.
Well, even if it were logical, a part of him couldn't agree to it. Levi wasn't the kind to abandon his duties without reason. I'm only going to let you go this time.
All right! I knew you'd be sensible about it! I'll be back once I finish what I need to do. It'll only be until then.
Fine. But before that...
Hmm?
Levi didn't seem to realize it, but we were very close in proximity. He had pushed me against the wall, so I couldn't move away. I want you to do something about this position we're in.
Huh? Oh! Sorry about that! I didn't realize it because I was trying to hide.
He moved away, but being afraid of Levon, we continued to talk while in hiding.
But Levon's still standing in the place where I want to go. I was hoping he'd go away.
Maybe he knows what you're trying to do.
Don't say scary stuff like that. It reminds me of Levon always finding me whenever I try to hide.
He can read your mind, I think.
You serious? I thought I was hiding pretty well.
Levi, you're easy to figure out in a lot of ways. Like when you eat Francisca's cooking, you really look like you want to die.
I try to force it all down with a straight face the best I can.
Are you kidding? Then you're obviously not trying hard enough.
Seriously?
While we were talking, I felt someone's presence approaching. I looked around the corner and jumped back in fear. It's Levon!
But there's something about Mother's cooking that can't be helped. It's too destructive. Or should I say that it goes beyond the imagination of man? Or how about saying it's mind-shattering?
Levi, shut up! Perfect. Excellent. It's a wonderful position to be in.
Huh?
Our positions flipped, with me pushing Levi against the wall this time. Levon just passed by right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Levon. I decided to help Levi today. I'll turn him over to you next time. Perhaps he gave up on Levi, or remembered another thing he had to do. He walked off somewhere else quickly. But that didn't mean he wouldn't come back. We should remain quiet for the time being. My eyes met with Levi's as he was trying to say something, so I mumbled to him. What?
Well, this is kind of embarrassing.
Levi's face was red as he looked far away. Huh? You were doing the same thing earlier. Our positions were flipped, but what we were doing was the same. I thought it would be fine.
I know, but it's different when I do it. I'm not used to being protected, you know.
Huh? I don't get the difference.
You might not get it, but it is different!
His explanation wasn't making any sense. Levi pushed me away by the shoulder and looked over to where Levon walked off. Hey! Now I was nervous because of how careless he was being. Levon could still be close by. I'll go take a look. You stay right here, Levi! I heard a dull thud. Because I pushed him in a rushed way, I had slammed his face onto the wall. Every time it happens, I'm like, oh man. Sorry! But looks like Levon is gone, so I think we're safe for now.
Well, I guess that's fine.
I felt sorry when I saw his slightly red forehead. Levi didn't say anything, but I was sure it hurt. I'm really sorry. Let me see. Did you hit just your head?
Yeah, but it's not serious. I only bumped it.
Just let me see it. I could see if I stood on my toes. Levi was much taller than I was, so I had to grab his shoulders to bring him to my eye level. I brushed his hair aside to see the part that got hit. It wasn't bleeding. It seemed like the impact was light. Does it hurt? It's a bit red. Maybe you can cover it with your hair.
I said it's nothing! Just get off me!
Oh, sorry.
This is so lame.
He heaved a huge sigh. I just realized it. But the position we were in at that moment was also compromising. Touching his hair up close and personal. Well, Levi is like family to me. Mm-hmm. This is this bro zone I was talking about earlier. I said this earlier, but you did this first, you know.
I didn't touch your hair.
Is that the issue here? We've touched each other's hair before. Why are you bothered about it now?
Touch? That's when we were kids. And we didn't touch each other that much.
We probably did. I don't really remember, though.
You don't?
You always touched my head, Levi. That's why I didn't think much of it.
That's not true. It's different when you do it. Well, you did cover for me back there, but... Oh, jeez!
I didn't know why, but Levi suddenly started rubbing my head. What's that for?
Payback. Now we're even. And this doesn't hurt at all. It's nothing for you to worry about.
He lightly bumped his fist on my forehead and then took a few steps away from me. Well, okay then. I tried to fix my messed up hair. That was a rather childish way to get back at me.
Anyway, thanks for covering for me. If you see Levon, tell him I'll be right back.
I nodded and saw Levi off. His forehead and face were slightly red as he walked away at an unusually quick pace. He got so close all of a sudden, but then backed off just as suddenly. Levi was easier to figure out, but I realized that I didn't know everything about him. Then again, that was only natural. Still, I wonder what it is that's so important that he has to do it now. But he's already long gone, so I couldn't ask. Knowing there was no point in lingering, I left the alleyway. Levi's adorable. He's just like, got so many feels for Jed, and he doesn't know how to express it properly. So he's just like, I'll just ruffle your hair real messy. Okay, so there should be two more events with Levi. I think there's one at the tavern and one down here at Wolf Manor. So yeah, let's do tavern. Yeah, childhood friend. What to do? I went to the town square and the tavern in search of information on the Kaleidovia. It's one thing if I'm on a job, but coming here and not drinking makes it kind of awkward. I stood next to the door while thinking about what to do. But the tavern was the ideal place to gather information. It was easy to talk to people as their tongues were loosened by the alcohol. If only I was with someone else. And here comes our golden retriever. Like it's Jed! I love Jed so much. As if someone read my mind, the entrance was flung open. Oh, Levi.
Hey! What are you doing here?
I'm here to gather information on... Did you run here?
No.
He started running as soon as he saw you, Jed. What are you, a dog?
Don't say that!
Oh, Levon, you're here too. Did you two just finish up work?
Yeah. We finished earlier, so we were talking about coming here for a drink.
Since I didn't drink, I didn't know how it felt to get a swig in before dinner. But seeing how the tavern was still bustling, even as the fog was beginning to descend, it must be a big source of entertainment. That's perfect. Mind if I join?
I don't mind, but...
You're welcome to join. The booze will taste better with you around, Jed.
The three of us sat down and gave our orders. Naturally, I ordered food instead of a drink, but the other two ordered ale. You really like that stuff, don't you?
Sure hits the spot after work, I tell you.
I have to agree with that.
I don't get it, but you both sound like old men.
Don't insult us when you don't understand.
Jed, what did you order? Alcohol?
No way, just almonds. Levon breathed a sigh of relief. He was treating me like a child, but when it came to drinking, it couldn't be helped. The ale and almonds arrived quickly and have a toast.
What do we toast to, Levon?
Nothing in particular. To our daily labors.
That's so boring. Then to our daily labors and our brotherly bonds.
We all spoke cheers in unison. Although I was holding a bowl of almonds, I was sure they understood the sentiment. Levi chugged it all down and gave a satisfied sigh.
Huh.
Hooray! Now you can have some of my almonds, and I'm gonna have a sip of water while you do that. Ah, perfect. We're doing great.
Ah, I live for this moment.
I agree, but you do sound like an old man, like Jed said.
The two were in high spirits. They laughed while ordering the next round.
Who cares about age? A man ages like fine wine. That's exactly why you gotta understand the taste of booze.
As a matter of fact, I couldn't do either of those things.
If it were that simple, no one would have a hard time. You're only a man if you fulfill your societal duties and protect your family.
That's not the right answer when we're drinking, Levon.
I think I know what he means. Levon is always too uptight about these things.
He's been worse recently. It's all about duty this and pride of the clan that.
That's because we're in a position that's closely watched by others. You need to get that through your head.
Levon, you're starting to resemble Mother.
Accurate. I see that too.
Look, you two.
The second round of drinks arrived. They both quickly drank it down. Aren't you two drinking a bit too fast? You sure you're okay?
This is like water to us. And Levi...
Mind if I take an almond?
Go ahead.
Listen to me!
There. The three of us are here, so let's talk about some memories.
Memories? It was difficult to think of one on the spot. The three of us had always been close ever since we were children.
For example, we used to catch frogs in the forest a lot.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, that did happen. Frogs, snakes, caterpillars.
Forget those bugs. I'm surprised you grabbed them with your bare hands.
Levi, you don't like bugs?
He'll never not be afraid of them. He still screams at the sight of spiders, just like Mother.
I said forget the bugs already! Speaking of which, I just remembered. Mother got really mad at us when we caught a frog and brought it back to the manor.
That's because you put the frog into her shoe. I've never seen her so mad.
I think that was the first and last time Francisco lectured us all night.
Really? I don't remember.
You probably erased it from your memory out of fear.
That's possible.
We were scolded until the next morning. How could you forget that?
Crap. Was it really that bad? I feel bad for not remembering it now. Hold on.
And that's when the third round of drinks arrived. Levi drank it as if he were trying to get rid of a distraction.
Exploring the forest was a daily thing for us.
Huh? Are we done talking about Mother getting mad?
You might be happier if you just forgot it.
Why didn't you keep talking until I remembered? Well, whatever, I guess. So what about it? Oh yeah, the exploring.
The snow wasn't as thick as it was now. We weren't yelled at as long as we stayed near the town.
Oh, that's right. The fog did get thicker, but the snow wasn't that bad. But the forest was real creepy when the fog was thick. It was horrible during that time we went to search for the witch.
It was just another children's rumor, but we were always cautioned away from the furthest parts of the forest because of the witch.
The word witch made my heart jump. It seemed that my memory of these things was rather hazy. I did remember going exploring a few times, but not this clearly. Maybe I was so afraid of the word witch that I completely forgot about it. Wanting to change the subject, I suggested another episode from our memories. Remember how we went out searching in town only to come back late into the night?
That's right! We had to find one secret of the town and then bring it to the square.
In the end, none of us found anything even after it got dark.
This town is the last place to have any secrets. Kids really had the wildest imaginations, huh?
And all three of us got lectured by Mother.
Wait, why were we getting yelled at all the time?
Now you remember? As we talked, their fourth and fifth rounds of alcohol were emptied. By now, they were both in high spirits, and we continued talking even more about past memories. It might have all been ordinary and uninteresting to others, but it made me realize that we spent a whole lot of our lives together.
Looking back now, the way I imagined our future wasn't that far off, so it's pretty funny.
The future?
I thought that Levon would be all about work like Mother. And Jed, you probably wouldn't look any different even after growing up.
You're trying to say I'm puny?
Jed, you always faced reality for what it was and would be the most mature. Looking at you now, you're exactly that.
Levi, you may look different, but you haven't changed on the inside at all.
Yeah, like how you hate bugs.
Is there really a need to bring that up again?
Levon, you're usually kind to everyone, but you're pretty harsh on your own family. If that's an expression of your love, then you haven't changed at all, just like Levi.
Levon may be smiling all the time, but he's always keeping his distance from everyone.
I don't like it when I come up in these talks about our memories.
The three of us laughed. I was struck with a weird feeling, talking about our days past as if they were only yesterday. I could only assume this was how it felt when you went down memory lane. I didn't have a single drop to drink, and yet the memories kept coming like a deluge.
Things never change. Not this town or us.
There are lots of parts that did change, but if you ask me which, I don't think I could tell you right away.
It's so strange. I still wonder about that. In the end, our meeting was disbanded before the fog got thicker.
I already said that our day would be shorter today, and I don't want Mother to worry.
Yeah, I don't want to get lectured until morning again.
I don't think that'll happen. The two of them always brought up Francisca's cooking or lecturing, but when all was said and done, they cared about their mother. To me, they loved her just as I did. That's why her name always comes up when we talk about our memories. I wondered if this was what it means to be a mother. Although I wasn't related to her by blood, I felt that we did share a bond. Maybe I should go see Francisca before going home.
That would be nice. She'd love to see you.
But whatever you do, don't say you're hungry.
And thus I made it to the manor.
Levi? What is the meaning of this?
Huh?
Huh?
Is there going to be another lecture?
Francisca was waiting at the entrance and she was obviously angry.
Huh? What? I didn't catch a frog or anything.
Frog? What are you talking about?
The three of us looked at each other.
You left an important document in your room. I told you to read it today. Not only that, you left the window open. The wind knocked over the ink and it spilled all over the paper.
Levi.
Levi, you're at fault here.
Huh? Oh, is that all? I was wondering what it was about.
What do you mean, is that all? Do you know what you did, Levi?
Oh, he's done for. Right when I thought that, Levon also whispered to himself the same thing I was thinking.
No! That's not what I meant!
Very well. You wanted a lecture, so you will get one. Come to my room. I will take my time with this one.
Wait, no! Hey, you guys!
I don't know how to defend you.
Please! I thought we were buddies! We were just reminiscing about the good old days earlier!
Good luck, Levi.
Gah!
Francisca dragged him away to a room on the other side of the manor. It was a misunderstanding, but what he did with the document couldn't be denied. No matter what we say to Francisca, she'll just be reminded of that incident with the frog and get mad about it. I heard later that Francisca's lecture lasted the longest it ever had. As for me, I realized I had completely forgotten about my initial goal of gathering information.